Hey everyone, I'm just sitting here in the middle of a practice session working on Tornado of Souls, and I figured let's turn on the camera for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and see what happens. As many of you have asked for a video such as this, a peek behind the curtain, if you will, of just how I go about learning and practicing a solo. I'm going to skip the learning part of it, as I've already learned it a couple of nights ago, and I can't honestly see how that could be of any entertainment value whatsoever. Me sitting here picking out notes at 75, sometimes 50% speed for hours on end. Boring. And that's usually what I do, with most solos, especially the fast ones. Slow them down. I'll put the track on YouTube, I'll bring it up on YouTube, reduce speed to usually 75%, and just dig into pulling it apart by ear. I've been at this one for about 3 nights now, and we're getting close. The first night was strictly picking it apart and painstakingly learning the notes by ear. The second night was spent working on the nuances of everything, vibrato and tone, and which notes are slid into and which notes are slid out of, and finding the right and most economical places on the neck to play everything, so on and so forth. And last night I spent about 2.5 hours working on the difficult passages, first at about 75% speed, and then trying to get them up to 95% by the end of my practice session. And so far so good. I'm happy with it. There are still 5 or 6 parts of the solo that need work and an increase in speed and cleanliness, but I'm getting close. A couple of more nights, and I think I should have this one. Tornado of Souls, if you don't know, is one of the most difficult metal solos ever recorded by Megadeth guitarist Marty Friedman, and generally considered one of the greatest metal solos of all time. I'm including it as my final and most important honorable mention to Guitar World magazine's Top 100 solo list, because for some bizarro reason it's not on it. So let's have a walkthrough of where I am at this point after a couple of nights, and what still needs a bit of work, I suppose. So the opening, I've got the opening, hold on a sec, I've got some noise going on here. All right, so, the opening's not that tough. So up to that point, nothing very difficult. And this next passage. Pretty much got that part down. A couple of little tricky parts in there that gave me a hard time, especially that bend, that little transition there. Now there's a full step bend there, and then you got to release it halfway down. And then when you're halfway down, then you release off to the 12th fret of the B. And then a little double pull index, full step index bend, which is tough to bend a full step with your index. And nothing really difficult there, but that little part gave me a bit of trouble. So up to that point, I didn't have a whole lot of trouble. And a lot of vibrato on those notes that you hold for a second or two. A lot of... Now Now the next part is difficult, and I pretty much got this next part. I make mistakes on it now and again, but that slide. God damn, it's hard to get into the. It's such a small up the 19th fret. It's such a small fret, and to hit it every time is really difficult. And it's all really fast. And that part is tricky. And but I've got that down. I still make mistakes in it, but it needs a little bit of work, a little bit of practice, but nothing too difficult there. Just a little bit of sliding work. And then the next is just basically pentatonic in the B. Nothing too difficult there, but this part is tough. Now, he's playing it like this. Sorry, I made a mistake. That's the way he's playing it. And all those slides, you know, hitting those notes when you're sliding in, really difficult. And that's the way I'm playing it. He's this part here. That's what he's doing. But I've changed it because I can, and I like this. I'm doing it like this. Just that part there. And then we're into the famous that part there, and I didn't have much trouble getting that up to speed, and I'm alternate picking it. I've seen some guys on YouTube, they're doing little economy picking mini sweeps. And, you know, I know how to sweep, but I'm not really, really good at it. And I don't feel as comfortable sweeping as I do alternate picking. Alternate picking is one of my strengths. And I had no trouble at all getting this up to speed, alternate picking it, which I believe would be much more difficult than doing the little mini sweeps. Like... you know, little mini sweeps like that, but I much prefer alternate picking it. And the only problem with it is the stretch, you know. I was kind of, when I first learned it, I didn't have trouble getting it up to speed, but I had a hard time getting the stretch, getting it from 10 all the way up to 17. And but I found a fix. You know, I was coming in at it with this. Your typical angle of attack into the strings is usually like this, you know. And I really had to turn my hand around to get the reach going. And you know, when you're vertical, yeah, when you're vertical with the frets, your reach is better. And then when you're like this, you know, when you're like this, really hard to get up there. You turn your hand around a little bit. And you can go even further. I can get up to 19. you know. So when I was first trying to play it, I couldn't get up there because, well, I just did, but I couldn't get up there with this kind of angle of attack. So I turned my hand around a little bit. Anyway, I'm not playing very well right there, but. And anyway, and then you're into the final part of the solo. Anyway, that still needs work, you know. I've got the speed, but I still need the clarity, and I still need to get those notes, especially when I'm stretching up here. I'm not getting them really cleanly, but. But that leads into the final insane run that ends this, and really hard to pick out, even at slow speed, what exactly he's doing here. But I've come up with something that works and sounds good, and like Eddie Van Halen once said, if it sounds good, then it is good. And so it's just sounds like a blur. You know, the recording, he's going so fast. And I came up with this, and I've got it at about 75%. I need to increase the speed to 100% of this lick. And this is what needs the most work in this solo. So this is going to take me a couple of nights to get this up to speed from about 75% to 100%. So that lick, getting that up to speed. Whoops. Bloody glasses. And when you're getting up into the 24th fret area and you're going that fast, it's really hard to get those notes because the frets are so small. That's tough too. And then there's the very weird and loopy kind of lick that ends the whole solo. And I have that needs work. I need to get that up to speed because it's very fast. And that's where I'm at right now with Tornado of Souls. And a couple of more nights and I should have it down. But it is a hard solo to play, bloody hell. And that's where I am with Tornado of Souls right now. And a couple of nights, I'll get it. It needs cleaning up a little bit, especially that end part there. But I hope you like that. It's a little, I don't know. I'm just sitting here practicing. And, a couple of hours working on this. And so a couple hours tomorrow night, a couple hours the next night, and maybe by the weekend I'll have this one in the bag. So take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time. Ciao.